The story of modern basketball cannot be told without one name, LeBron James. For over 20 years, he has towered above the game like a giant. From the moment he was drafted in 2003, hailed as the chosen one, LeBron carried a weight no teenager should ever bear. Cameras followed his every move, critics sharpened their pens, and expectations soared beyond imagination. And yet, he didn't just meet those expectations. He shattered them for championships, countless records, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, the face of a generation. But time, as it always does, marches on. And as LeBron enters the twilight of his career, one burning question remains. Who will carry the torch once the king steps aside? That's where our journey begins. Tonight, we're counting down the top 10 NBA superstars to watch, the ones battling not just for glory, but for the right to inherit LeBron's crown, the weight of the throne. Before we reveal the first names on this list, we need to understand what makes this search so significant. LeBron James wasn't just a basketball player. He was a standard. His presence on the court brought fear to his opponents and hope to his teammates. He was never just an athlete. He was a brand, a leader, a global icon. When he stepped on the floor, arenas sold out. When he spoke off the court, the world listened. Replacing that, it's not just about skill. It's about charisma, resilience, and the ability to shoulder the crushing expectations of millions. Few can even attempt to fill that role. And yet, every few years, new stars emerge, ready to prove they belong in the same conversation. Number 10, Anthony Edwards, the rising alpha. In Minnesota, a young star has risen, and he's not just talented, he's fearless. Anthony Edwards, better known as Ant-Man, plays with energy that demands attention. Still just 23 years old, Edwards has already etched his name into highlight reels with thunderous dunks that seem to defy gravity. His athleticism sparks comparisons to a young LeBron, but that's not what sets him apart. What makes Edwards different is his swagger. His voice is bold, his presence magnetic. After a game-winning shot, he doesn't just celebrate. He stares down the crowd as if to say, "I told you so." He exudes confidence, the kind that can lift an entire franchise on his shoulders. Minnesota has long been searching for a savior, and in Edwards, fans finally see hope. He has transformed the Timberwolves from an overlooked team into a squad feared by contenders. Every game feels like a new chapter in his rise. But potential is one thing. Greatness is another. Edwards has the skill, the athleticism, and the mentality. But championships are the true currency of legends. And that's where the shadow of LeBron looms largest. LeBron wasn't just dominant. He delivered when it mattered most. He carried teams to finals. He turned doubt into belief, and he brought rings to franchises desperate for glory. For Edwards, the question remains, can he turn his bravado into banners? Number 9, Ja Morant, the electrifying playmaker. If Edwards is the alpha, then Ja Morant is the spark. The moment he steps onto court, the air changes. He doesn't just play basketball, he ignites it. Morant's game is chaos wrapped in poetry. 1 second he's dribbling at half court. The next he's soaring above defenders for a jaw-dropping dunk that leaves crowds speechless. His speed, his vertical leap, his fearlessness. It all feels like a flashback to LeBron's own entrance into the league. But for Morant, the story isn't just about highlights. It's also about redemption. Off the court, controversies and suspensions have threatened to derail his rise. Critics whisper, doubters grow louder, and the shadow of wasted potential looms over him. And yet, every time he plays, it's clear. Ja Morant has the talent to change the league. His vision, his flair, his leadership on the floor, all scream superstardom. Fans don't just watch him. They hold their breath, waiting for the next impossible moment. LeBron's greatness wasn't just about skill. It was about discipline, longevity, and resilience. He was a model of professionalism in an era where one bad decision could ruin reputations. For Morant, that is the true battle. Can he match LeBron's mindset? Can he carry himself with the same stability that turns talent into legacy? If he can, the Memphis Grizzlies might just have the future of the league running their offense. The shadow of greatness. And so, we begin our countdown with 2 players who represent very different paths. Edwards, the confident alpha, who thrives on swagger. Morant, the electrifying talent fighting to overcome personal demons. Both have the skills. Both have the potential. But both must now confront the same daunting reality, the King's shadow. Because no matter how bright they shine, every dunk, every game winner, every highlight will be compared to LeBron James. That's the curse of following greatness. No achievement is ever truly your own. It always lives in the shadow of what came before. But Edwards and Morant aren't the only ones carrying this burden. Others are coming. Young stars who are changing the game in ways even LeBron never imagined. One of them doesn't talk much. He doesn't need to. His game speaks volumes, with a calm precision that leaves opponents helpless. He isn't flashy. He isn't loud. But in Oklahoma City, he has quietly become one of the most dangerous players in the world. Stay with us as we reveal how shy Gilgeous-Alexander has turned silence into power, and why he might just be the NBA's most underrated heir to LeBron's throne. Silent assassins and fallen giants. The NBA is a league of contrasts. Some stars burn bright with flair and noise, demanding the spotlight. Others operate in silence, dismantling opponents with quiet precision. Some are built like tanks, so powerful that defenders bounce off them as if colliding with walls. And then there are the smooth operators, the players who make basketball look effortless, as if the game were designed around them. LeBron James, throughout his career, managed to embody all of these traits at once. He could dominate with brute force, orchestrate plays like a genius conductor, and seize the spotlight whenever the moment demanded. That's what made him unique. But in the new generation, these qualities are spread among different stars, each bringing their own unique twist to the throne. Let's begin with the quiet killer in Oklahoma City. Number 8, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the silent assassin. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or simply SGA, isn't the loudest name on this list. In fact, some casual fans barely know his game. But those who have watched closely understand. Shai might be the purest hooper in the NBA today. At first glance, nothing about him screams superstar. He doesn't dunk with LeBron's ferocity. He doesn't pull up from 30 feet like Steph Curry. He doesn't roar after every basket. Instead, he glides. His movements are silky, deceptive, almost hypnotic. One step to the left, hesitation dribble, and suddenly he's past his defender, finishing at the rim before anyone realizes what happened. What makes Shai dangerous is efficiency. In an era where many stars rely on volume shooting, SGA scores with precision. His mid-range jumper is deadly. His drives to the basket are calculated. His footwork flawless. Defenders know what's coming, but they can't stop it. LeBron built his reputation on being an all-around force of nature. Rebounds, assists, defense, and scoring. Shai doesn't overpower you in every category. Instead, he dissects you. Quietly, relentlessly, and perhaps that's what makes him special. In Oklahoma City, a team once left in ruins after losing Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, SGA has resurrected hope. He doesn't need to scream. He doesn't need to boast. He simply plays. And in doing so, he's already established himself as one of the most complete guards in the league. But while Shai carves opponents with finesse, another young star takes the opposite approach. He doesn't sneak past defenders. He destroys them. Number 7, Zion Williamson, the unstoppable force. When Zion Williamson entered the NBA, fans believed they were witnessing the rebirth of basketball dominance. At just 6 feet 6 inches, but weighing nearly 285 pounds, Zion wasn't built like a basketball player. He was built like a tank. The first time he stepped onto court, jaws dropped. His dunks rattled rims. His drives bulldozed through defenders. For a moment, it felt like the NBA had found the closest thing to LeBron's physical dominance. Zion wasn't just strong. He was explosive. In an instant, he could leap from the paint to the rim, finishing plays with violence that echoed through the arena. No one his size should move that fast. No one that heavy should jump that high. And yet, he did. But here's the tragedy. We haven't seen enough of him. Injuries have plagued his career, keeping him sidelined for long stretches. Each time he seems ready to dominate, another setback pulls him away. And with each missed game, the whispers grow louder. What if Zion never fulfills his potential? LeBron's greatness was tied not only to talent, but to durability. Season after season, he remained available, dependable, unstoppable. For Zion, that's the true challenge, not proving he can dominate, but proving he can last. Because when he's healthy, there's no denying it. Zion is a nightmare, a wrecking ball who terrifies defenders. But greatness isn't built on flashes of brilliance. It's built on consistency. And until Zion proves he can endure, the crown will remain just out of reach. Number 6, Jason Tatum, the smooth operator. If Shai is silent and Zion is violent, then Jason Tatum is elegance. At 6 feet 8 inches, with the wingspan of a giant and the footwork of a dancer, Tatum embodies basketball grace. Watching him play feels like watching art in motion. His step-back jumpers are polished, his drives are fluid, and his confidence is unshakable. And unlike many young stars, Tatum has already tasted the pressure of the NBA's brightest stage. Leading the Boston Celtics, one of the league's most storied franchises, he has carried the weight of history on his shoulders. The green and white jersey doesn't just demand wins, it demands championships. And Tatum has brought his team to the brink. He's faced LeBron himself in the playoffs. He's battled through Eastern Conference wars. And though he hasn't yet hoisted the championship trophy, he's shown flashes of greatness that suggest his time is coming. Tatum represents a kind of all-around superstar who can anchor a franchise for years. He isn't as explosive as Zion, nor as quiet as Shai, but he blends scoring, defense, and leadership in a way that feels familiar. In many ways, he mirrors LeBron's ability to do it all. But will he win it all? That's the lingering question. Because in the NBA, history doesn't remember the almost, it remembers the champions. Tatum's path is clear. To step out LeBron's shadow, he must bring a title back to Boston. 3 paths to greatness. And so, in episode 2, we've seen 3 faces of the next generation. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the silent assassin who kills you softly. Zion Williamson, the unstoppable force held back only by his own body. Jason Tatum, the smooth operator dancing on the edge of greatness. Each of them carries pieces of what made LeBron legendary. Shai's precision, Zion's dominance, Tatum's all-around ability. But none of them yet embody the whole package. Still, the future is bright. Because if these 3 are only number 8, number 7, and hashtag 6, what about the stars ranked above them? One of them already plays like a seasoned veteran, yet he's still just 25. He doesn't rely on athleticism. He relies on genius. A European prodigy with a vision of a chess master and the swagger of a superstar. Shortly, we'll uncover the brilliance of Luka Doncic, the fire of Devin Booker, and the alien-like dominance of Victor Wembanyama. Together, they form the core of the league's most exciting future, and perhaps the greatest threats to LeBron's legacy. Genius, fire, and the alien. By now, we've seen glimpses of the next generation. Fearless scorers, silent assassins, and unstoppable forces. Each has brought something unique, yet none have fully escaped LeBron's shadow. But the next 3 names on this list, they're not just stars. They're phenomena. They are redefining the game, each in their own way. And together, they might just form the foundation of an NBA era beyond LeBron James. Number 5, Luka Doncic, the European maestro. Basketball has always been a global game, but rarely has a player carried international flair with such dominance as Luka Doncic. Still only 25 years old, Luka plays like he's been in the league for decades. His style is deceptive, not based on speed or power, but on timing, vision, and creativity. Watching Luka orchestrate an offense is like watching a chess grandmaster dismantle an opponent piece by piece. LeBron's early greatness came from his athleticism, an unstoppable freight train charging down the court. Luka doesn't have that. What he has instead is control. He dictates pace, slows the game to his rhythm, and forces defenders into his world. Step-back threes, no-look passes, impossible layups through traffic. Luka makes the extraordinary look routine. And the scary part? He's only getting better. For the Dallas Mavericks, Luka has already become more than a star. He's their identity. He carries their offense, absorbs pressure, and delivers when it matters most. The comparisons to LeBron aren't about athleticism, but about impact. Just as LeBron elevated Cleveland, Luka has lifted Dallas into relevance again. The question isn't if Luka will win a championship. It's when. And when that day comes, his name will echo among the greats. Number 4, Devin Booker, the Mamba heir. If Luka represents brains and control, then Devin Booker represents fire and flair. Booker isn't just a scorer. He's an artist with a basketball. Smooth pull-ups, lightning-quick releases, and the ability to drop 40 points without breaking a sweat. But what makes his story even more compelling is a connection to a legend. Booker was mentored by none other than Kobe Bryant. Before Kobe's tragic passing, he told Booker something simple: be legendary. Those 2 words have become Booker's mantra. Every time he steps on the court, he carries the weight of Kobe's challenge. And in many ways, he has risen to it. His scoring explosions in playoffs, 70 points in a single game, devastating runs against elite defenses, have cemented him as one of the deadliest offensive players in the NBA. LeBron's greatness was built on versatility. Scoring, passing, rebounding, defending. Booker's greatness is purer, narrower, but no less dazzling. He is a weapon, a flamethrower, the kind of player who can carry an offense on his own when everything else falls apart. The Phoenix Suns have leaned on him as their anchor, even as superstar teammates have come and gone. Through it all, Booker's fire has never dimmed. But here lies the challenge. Can Booker translate his brilliance into rings? Because if LeBron's career taught us anything, it's that greatness isn't measured just in points. It's measured in banners. For Booker, the next step is clear: be legendary or fall short. Number 3, Victor Wembanyama, the alien. And now, we arrive at a player who defies every definition. Standing 7 feet 4 inches with arms like bridges and movements like a guard, Victor Wembanyama isn't just a basketball player. He's a glimpse into the future. They call him the alien because he doesn't seem human. No one that tall should dribble like a point guard. No one with that reach should sink step-back threes. No one with that size should glide across the floor with such grace. And yet, here he is. The San Antonio Spurs, once a dynasty under Tim Duncan, may have found their new cornerstone. Wemby isn't just a star in the making, he's a revolution. Already, in his rookie year, he's blocking shots that seem impossible, hitting shots no big man should even attempt, and dominating highlight reels in ways the NBA has never seen. LeBron changed basketball through athleticism, through sheer power and versatility. Wembanyama might change basketball by redefining what's possible. A player his size should not exist, and yet he does. And the question now isn't if he'll dominate, it's how soon. The weight of expectation is enormous. Fans compare him to legends before he's even played a full season. But if Wemby can live up to even half the hype, the NBA is staring at a future unlike anything we've seen. 3 threats to the throne. So here we stand. Luka Doncic, the maestro who bends a game to his will. Devin Booker, the fiery heir to Kobe's legacy. Victor Wembanyama, the alien who might redefine basketball itself. Each of them represents a different path to greatness. Luka's intelligence, Booker's fire, Wemby's uniqueness, and each of them stands as a direct challenge to the legacy of LeBron James. But even they are not alone. Ahead of them stand 2 giants. One has already claimed the throne of dominance, reshaping the league with MVPs and a championship that silenced all doubts. The other isn't just a player, he's a revolutionary, a man whose 3-point shot changed basketball forever. On our last lap, we'll reveal the top 2 names on this list: Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, and Stephen Curry, the game changer. Together, they represent both the present and the future. But the real question remains, can even they truly surpass LeBron James? The freak and the game changer. We've traveled to the next generation of NBA superstars, from the swagger of Anthony Edwards, to the fire of Devin Booker, to the alien brilliance of Victor Wembanyama. Each one carries pieces of greatness. Each one promises a future brighter than ever. But as we climb to the very top of the list, we arrive at 2 names who aren't just promising futures. They are already living legends. These 2 men have already changed the NBA. They've already lifted trophies, rewritten history, and forced even LeBron James himself to adjust their presence. The first is a giant who dominates with strength and relentlessness. The second is a revolutionary who changed the very way the game is played. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. When LeBron James was in his prime, fans often wondered, could anyone ever match his physical dominance? And then came Giannis Antetokounmpo. Born in Athens, Greece, to Nigerian parents, Giannis grew up selling trinkets on the streets to help his family survive. Basketball was his way out, and when he entered the NBA in 2013, few believed the skinny 18-year-old would ever become more than a role player. But Giannis had something no one could measure: relentless drive. Year after year, he transformed his body, his skill, and his mindset. The raw teenager became a 2-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, and most importantly, a champion. His 2021 Finals performance stands as one of the greatest ever. In Game 6 against Phoenix, with everything on the line, Giannis scored 50 points. Not 30, not 40, 50. He dominated both ends of the floor, refusing to let his team lose. LeBron was often called a freak of nature, but Giannis has taken that title and made it his own, the Greek Freak. His drives to the rim are unstoppable, his defense smothers opponents, and his hunger is insatiable. What separates Giannis is humility. Despite his accolades, he still speaks with gratitude, still trains as if he has something to prove, and that mentality has made him the closest player to LeBron's throne of dominance. But as powerful as Giannis is, he is not the game's greatest revolutionary. That honor belongs to someone else. Number 1, Stephen Curry, the game changer. Some will argue Stephen Curry isn't the next generation. After all, he and LeBron have battled for years. But if LeBron was the king of his era, then Curry is a rival king, the challenger who forced LeBron to evolve. And in the eyes of many, Curry may have changed basketball more than anyone else in history. Before Curry, the NBA was a league of giants. Centers and forwards ruled the paint, and the three-point shot was an accessory, not a weapon. But Curry shattered that reality. His unlimited range, quick release, and fearless shooting rewrote the rulebook. He didn't just make threes. He made them routine. He made them expected. And soon, the entire league followed. Teams restructured offenses. Coaches reimagined strategies, and defenses stretched further than ever before. Today, every kid on the playground wants to shoot like Steph. He turned the three-pointer into the most powerful weapon in basketball. That's legacy. With 4 championships, 2 MVPs, including the first unanimous MVP in history, Curry has already secured his place among the all-time greats. But more importantly, he changed the way the game is played. LeBron's greatness was measured in dominance. Curry's greatness is measured in transformation, LeBron's shadow. And so, we arrive at the heart of the question. Can anyone truly surpass LeBron James? Giannis may match his dominance. Curry may surpass his influence. Luka, Booker, Wembanyama. They all carry pieces of his legacy into the future. But LeBron's story is unique. 2 decades of greatness. Longevity unmatched. A career that spans eras, from Kobe to Curry, from Durant to Wembanyama. He is the bridge between generations, the standard by which all others are measured. And that may be his greatest legacy. Not just his rings, not just his records, but the fact that every rising star must first step into his shadow. The future awaits. The next generation is ready. Edwards, Morant, Shai, Zion, Tatum, Luka, Booker, Wemby, Giannis, Curry. Each one is carving a path. Each one is building a case. But history doesn't remember potential. It remembers champions. It remembers legends. LeBron James has set the bar higher than anyone before him. The throne is not empty yet, but one day soon it will be. And when that moment comes, the question won't just be who is the best player. It will be who is worthy of the crown. Final thoughts. From a kid in Akron to the king of the NBA, LeBron James has defined an era. But the story of basketball is not ending. It's evolving. The freak, the game changer, the alien, the rising alpha, all of them are ready to carry the torch. And whether or not they surpass LeBron, one thing is certain. The NBA's future has never been brighter.